Hello, this is Dr. Leo at LeTime. You heard about the essential oil yield for many times through my video, from the literature you read, or from the label of those essential oil products. So in this video, I will give you hands-on experiments to show you how to calculate the essential oil yield. I'm using the lavender, more precisely it's the lavandula intermedia. It's also called a lavandin. Lavandin has a higher oil yield compared with the British lavender, that's lavandula augustifolia. But lavandin oil works very well for especially the anti-inflammation, disinfection, and its hydrosol works perfectly for our skin because it has a very good cleansing and moisturizing benefits. So don't forget, next week's video I'll show you all the recipe, all the ingredients you're gonna need to make a good lotion. And as I said, I'm gonna use the shea butter, coconut oil, and lavender hydrosol. In order to calculate the yield of the essential oil from the herb, we need to measure how much material we put in first. And today I'm using the lavandula intermedia, that's also called a lavandin. It has a higher essential oil content than the British lavender or true lavender, that's lavandula augustifolia. So zero the balance and pour in the whole bag of the lavender. So it's 462 grams. It's about a pound. Then just put in the LT3G. I already had water in it. And also put the sieve cup on top. So just pour in the flour. So every time after you add a herb, flatten it and make sure there's no gap. The place where the steam can escape, that's important. And do a little tap, make a bit of a compact, so to avoid the escape of the steam or bypass of the steam. And then put the C plate on top and then close the lid. The little thermometer can help you to see when the steam coming out and expect to start collecting your distillate. Okay, now we put on the fire. Today I'm using the circulation cooling. This is a very easy way for a longer term distillation. If you have a large volume of herb to distill, you want to have a circulation cooling. It saves a lot of work. Before you hook up the distiller with the condenser, make sure you test your circulation. All the water flows steady, and it's including within the condenser and also your bucket. Make sure the flow is consistent. And then we hook the distiller with condenser. Hand tighten is good enough because it has an O-ring, so it will stop it. And also, I gotta use the oil hydrosol separator This is a new separator. We have a two version. This is a newer version. It just make it easier, especially for the small volume of oil separation. This is easier, just fit in there, and you don't have to go lower. With the larger one, you need to go lower, and with the small one, you can just put on the same table with the condenser, so everything make a little bit easier. And now I gotta turn on the heat. Again, when you use a fire, make sure the fire don't go beyond the sidewall. That is very important. So especially when you're doing the hydro distillation, you know the herb can touch the wall of your pot. And if you fire, go to here, it can cause the sidewall is very hot. So the herb touching the sidewall, even inside, it has a high chance to be burnt. So you don't want that happen. So make sure the fire confined under the bottom of the pot, so without going beyond. So I'll use a little beaker to collect the oil. Here is about almost 30 milliliter of oil. It's a pretty good collection, but the distillation is still going on, so I gotta continue receiving the oil and hydrosol. Gotta put on the side. So far, I collected 2 liters of the hydrosol. Those are concentrated, and I gotta separate this oil and see how much oil I got in total. So I gotta stop the distillation. Remember, open the valve small and make it flow slow, so you give it time for the liquid they can separate clearly. Okay, so the hydrosol being separated and only the oil left in there, and then collect together. So here's a 40 milliliter. As you remember, I was using a 460 gram. So it's almost 10%, 9% of the oil yield. Is pretty good, very efficient. These are the pure lavender essential oil. During the production or research, they do an extra step to remove all the water drops or moisture from the essential oil by using a sodium sulfate. So that is a chemical. It can grab the water from the oil without absorbing the oil, and then they will make a clog, some of the bigger particles, and then use a filter paper to separate the oil with the sodium sulfate. But for our regular or home use, it's not that important. Just use as is. Even has a few drops of the hydrosol, it doesn't matter. It just these are all good stuff, so you can just keep using it. I use a gallon jar, the water gallon jar, to collect it because I got a lot of hydrosol. You can see the beautiful cloudy color of this lavender hydrosol. I'm gonna make a lotion. I'm gonna show you in next video, the next week's video, making the shea butter coconut oil with lavender hydrosol. That's wonderful for the cold season. I'm preparing the cold season for the family. So don't forget, next week's video I'll show you all the recipe, all the ingredients you're gonna need to make a good lotion. And as I said, I'm gonna use the shea butter, coconut oil, and lavender hydrosol. Thank you for watching. Please let me know your questions, comments, and see you next time.